The gentle patter of rain against the tall windows of Hogwarts fills the air, a calming rhythm echoing through the stone corridors. The soft glow of lanterns flickers, casting warm amber light on the worn, weathered walls of the castle. Outside, the sky is an ocean of gray clouds, but within the enchanted halls, a cozy peace prevails. This evening, the great hall is unusually quiet, its long tables set aside for the evening to allow the vast, magical space to stretch undisturbed. The enchanted ceiling reflects the rain-soaked heavens, creating an illusion of being surrounded by nature's gentle embrace. Your attention drifts to the library, where rows upon rows of ancient books wait, their leather bindings whispering secrets of magic long forgotten. The air carries the faintest hint of parchment and ink, a scent that feels as timeless as the castle itself. Tonight, however, a different sort of magic stirs. Hidden within Hogwarts lies a chamber few remember and even fewer can find. A chamber said to house spells abandoned for centuries, their words etched into parchment by wizards of old. But such tales are often passed as rumors, woven into bedtime stories for curious witches and wizards. As you settle in, let the quiet of the castle guide you to the heart of this tale, a forgotten piece of Hogwarts' past, waiting to be uncovered. If you enjoy this journey into the magical world of Hogwarts, consider subscribing for more soothing adventures. Your presence makes these stories come alive, and together we can uncover endless mysteries. Deep within the heart of Hogwarts, Harry Potter and Hermione Granger find themselves drawn to the castle's quieter, more mysterious corners. Harry, always curious and seeking adventure, feels the pull of something unusual, something hidden within the castle's ancient walls. Hermione, with her unmatched intellect and love for unraveling secrets, is the perfect companion for the journey that lies ahead. Tonight, the Gryffindor common room is warm and cozy, the fire crackling softly as snow drifts past the tall windows. Harry sits by the hearth, absently twirling his wand between his fingers, while Hermione sifts through a stack of books she borrowed from the library earlier in the day. One book in particular, an old journal bound in faded green leather, catches her attention. "This one's different," she murmurs, holding the book up to the firelight. Its cover is embossed with the Hogwarts crest, but the pages inside are filled with a blend of runes, spell diagrams, and scrawled notes in an unfamiliar handwriting. Harry leans closer, his emerald eyes narrowing. What is it? Hermione flips through the pages, her brow furrowed in concentration. It's not a textbook, that's for sure. It looks like someone's research. They were trying to document something called the Chamber of Forgotten Spells. Harry tilts his head, intrigued. Forgotten spells? Why would they be forgotten? Hermione shakes her head. It doesn't say, but there's a note here about how the chamber was sealed long ago to protect the castle. If it's real, it could hold powerful magic we've never even heard of. Harry grins, the firelight reflecting in his glasses. Sounds like something worth finding out, doesn't it? Hermione glances up at him, her expression torn between excitement and caution. We'll need to be careful. If this was hidden, there's probably a reason. Careful is your middle name, Harry teases with a chuckle. Come on, Hermione, when have we ever backed away from a mystery? Despite her reservations, Hermione can't help but smile. There's a familiar spark of curiosity and determination in Harry's voice that she's always admired. Together, they begin to piece through the clues in the journal, tracing the mysterious symbols and noting the references to hidden passages within the castle. As the fire burns low and the common room grows quieter, their plans take shape. By morning, they'll set off to uncover the truth behind the Chamber of Forgotten Spells, a journey through the heart of Hogwarts, where ancient magic and forgotten secrets await. The next morning, Harry and Hermione rise early, their excitement barely contained. The journal's cryptic notes and diagrams have led them to suspect that the entrance to the Chamber of Forgotten Spells is hidden somewhere in the library's restricted section. The air is crisp, with the promise of snow, and the castle is quiet, most students still bundled in their beds. As they step into the library, the scent of old parchment and ink fills their senses. The restricted section is bathed in soft, golden light streaming through the tall, frosted windows. Hermione leads the way, her wand emitting a faint, comforting glow as she consults the journal. Harry follows close behind, his eyes scanning the shelves for anything out of the ordinary. It says here that the entrance is marked by a carving of a phoenix, Hermione whispers, holding the journal closer, but it doesn't say which shelf or wall it's on. They search for what feels like hours, their whispers blending with the creak of the old wooden floors. Just as Harry begins to doubt the journal's accuracy, Hermione gasps softly. "Here," she says, pointing to a faint carving on the edge of an ancient bookshelf. The intricate depiction of a phoenix glimmers faintly, as though enchanted. Hermione reaches out, her fingers brushing the carving. To their amazement, the outline of the phoenix begins to glow brighter, and the entire bookshelf trembles before sliding aside, revealing a narrow passageway. The corridor beyond is dimly lit, the air cool and slightly damp. Harry steps forward, his wand raised, casting light on the stone walls etched with more runes and symbols. Hermione follows, clutching the journal tightly. "Do you feel that?" Harry asks, his voice hushed. "It's like the air is alive." Hermione nods. "It's the magic. This place hasn't been touched in centuries." As they venture deeper, the corridor widens into a circular chamber. At the center, a pedestal holds a small, shimmering orb, its surface swirling with iridescent light. Harry and Hermione exchange a glance, their curiosity outweighing their caution. They step closer, and as they do, the runes on the walls begin to glow in sequence, their light pulsating in rhythm with the orb. "What is it?" Harry asks, his voice barely audible. Hermione examines the orb carefully. "It's some kind of magical focus. The journal mentioned an artifact used to seal the spells in this chamber. This must be it." Tentatively, Harry reaches out to touch the orb. The moment his fingers graze its surface, a soft hum fills the room, and a projection of a figure appears, a translucent image of a wizard in flowing robes, his face kind and wise. "Greetings, seekers," the figure says, his voice gentle yet resonant. You have found the Chamber of Forgotten Spells, a repository of ancient magic created to protect Hogwarts. The spells here are powerful, but they must only be used with great wisdom and care. The figure's gaze seems to settle on both Harry and Hermione. Should you choose to proceed, you will be tested, not by danger, but by your understanding of magic, your courage, and your intentions. Hermione glances at Harry, her expression serious but resolute. What do you think? Should we go on? Harry smiles faintly. We've come this far. Let's see what we're made of. The figure nods approvingly, and the orb emits a warm light that washes over the room. Slowly, the walls of the chamber begin to shift, revealing 3 doorways, each marked with a symbol, a star, a moon, and a flame. This, the figure says, is your first test. Choose wisely. The projection fades, leaving Harry and Hermione standing before the 3 doors. The air is thick with anticipation, but there's no fear, only the sense that they are about to embark on a journey that will deepen their understanding of magic and themselves. After a moment of silent deliberation, Hermione steps forward, her gaze fixed on the door marked with a star. Let's start here, she says, her voice steady. Harry nods, his grip tightening on his wand. Together, they push the door open and step into the unknown, their path illuminated by the warm glow of their determination. As Harry and Hermione pass through the star-marked doorway, they find themselves in a softly glowing chamber. The air feels lighter, almost serene, yet charged with an ancient energy. The room is circular, and its walls are adorned with constellations that shimmer and shift as though alive. The ceiling reflects the night sky, a perfect replica of the one above Hogwarts, with stars twinkling gently. At the center of the room stands a large, ornate table carved from stone, its surface etched with runes and delicate patterns of stars and moons. Resting atop the table is a scroll, its edges slightly curled and glowing faintly. Hermione steps closer, her eyes wide with fascination. This must be part of the test, she whispers, carefully unrolling the scroll. The runes on the scroll pulse softly, emitting a faint golden light. Harry leans in, his curiosity piqued. What does it say? Hermione studies the symbols, her brow furrowed. It's a riddle, she says slowly. Listen, to unlock the forgotten spells, one must find what lies within. Seek not power, but wisdom's light, for magic flows where hearts begin. Harry frowns, his mind racing. What does it mean? Hermione's gaze shifts to the room around them. I think we're meant to reflect on what magic truly is, not just spells, but the intentions behind them. As she speaks, the constellations on the walls begin to move, forming new patterns. The table glows brighter, and 3 small orbs appear, each hovering just above the surface. One is golden, shining like the sun. Another is silver, cool and radiant like the moon. The third is a deep, glowing blue, like the ocean under starlight. A soft, melodic voice fills the chamber, neither threatening nor commanding. Choose an orb, and let your intentions guide your magic. Choose with care, for your path will reveal itself. Harry and Hermione exchange a glance, their expressions thoughtful. Hermione steps forward first, her gaze fixed on the silver orb. "I think this one represents wisdom," she says softly. She reaches out, and as her fingers brush the orb, a gentle warmth spreads through the room. The orb's light intensifies, and a silvery thread of magic flows into the scroll, causing the runes to rearrange themselves. Harry watches, his confidence bolstered by Hermione's choice. He steps forward, his attention drawn to the golden orb. "This feels like courage," he murmurs, touching the orb lightly. A similar warmth fills the air, and another golden thread of magic weaves into the scroll. The two friends stand back, watching as the scroll's runes glow brighter, shifting into a new pattern. Slowly, the scroll lifts from the table, hovering between them. The voice returns, gentle yet resonant. "Your choices reflect your hearts, wisdom, and courage. Together, they are the foundation of true magic. The path ahead is open." The scroll rolls itself tightly and vanishes in a shimmer of light. At the same time, the walls of the chamber dissolve, revealing another passageway. The air feels different now, lighter yet charged with anticipation. Hermione's face is lit with excitement. "I think we passed the first test." Harry nods, gripping his wand tightly. "Let's keep going." They step into the new passageway, the floor beneath them softly glowing. The air is cooler here, and faint whispers echo around them, as though the walls themselves are alive with secrets. Despite the stillness, there's a sense of movement, as though unseen forces are guiding them forward. As they walk, Hermione glances at Harry. "Do you think these tests are meant to teach us something?" Harry nods thoughtfully. "Probably. It feels like it's not just about unlocking spells, but understanding what magic really means." The passageway widens into another chamber, this one lined with tall mirrors that reflect not their physical appearances, but shimmering images of memories. Harry stops, captivated by a mirror that shows him his first time riding a broomstick. Hermione pauses before another, watching herself casting her first spell. "It's like the mirror of Erised," Harry says quietly, "but these show moments that shaped us, not our deepest desires." Hermione nods, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's reminding us of the journey we've taken to get here." The mirrors begin to glow, their surfaces rippling like water. The air hums softly, and a doorway appears at the far end of the chamber, beckoning them onward. With a shared look of determination, Harry and Hermione step forward, ready to face the next chapter of their adventure. Emerging from the Chamber of Mirrors, Harry and Hermione find themselves in a corridor unlike any they've seen at Hogwarts. The walls are covered in intricate carvings of magical creatures, phoenixes, unicorns, and dragons, all so lifelike they seem ready to leap from the stone. Gentle beams of light filter in through enchanted windows, casting moving patterns of stars and moonlight across the floor. "This feels ancient," Hermione says, her voice filled with awe. "It must be part of the castle no one's explored for centuries." Harry runs his fingers over one of the carvings, a dragon whose eyes glint like gemstones. "Do you think these creatures are connected to the spells we're looking for?" Hermione nods thoughtfully. "Possibly. They might symbolize the elements of magic, courage, wisdom, loyalty, and more. As they move forward, the air grows warmer and the sound of rushing water fills the corridor. They come to a small, circular room where a glowing pool sits at the center. The water shimmers with colors that shift and dance, and floating above it is a golden key. "There's always a catch," Harry mutters, eyeing the key suspiciously. Hermione steps closer, her brow furrowed. "Look at the symbols around the pool. They're riddles, meant to guide us." The floor around the pool is inscribed with 4 riddles, each leading to a different path. Hermione reads one aloud. "To unlock the key, choose your truth. The phoenix flies when the heart is pure. The dragon roars when courage endures. The unicorn kneels when loyalty shines. The mermaid sings where wisdom aligns." Harry scratches his head. "So, we're supposed to choose one of these paths?" Hermione nods. "But we have to decide which one resonates with us most." She studies the carvings again, her gaze lingering on the phoenix. "I think I'll take this path," she says, stepping toward a door marked with a fiery phoenix. Harry hesitates before walking toward the dragon's path. "Courage, huh? Let's hope this doesn't end with me being roasted." The doors open as they step through, and for a moment, each of them is alone. Hermione finds herself in a serene forest, bathed in golden light. The air is filled with the faint sound of phoenix song, and the trees glow softly, their leaves shimmering like gold. At the center of the forest stands a phoenix perched on a pedestal, its eyes wise and kind. "Welcome, seeker of wisdom," the phoenix says, its voice melodic and calming. "To earn the key, you must answer a question. What is the essence of magic?" Hermione thinks for a moment, her heart steady. "Magic is about connection, between people, between the world and its wonders. It's about understanding and using that connection to create something beautiful." The phoenix nods, its feathers glowing brighter. "You have chosen well." A golden feather falls from the phoenix's wing, glowing as it lands in Hermione's hand. The path before her opens, leading her back to the chamber. Harry steps into a cavern where the walls pulse with a fiery glow. At the center stands a mighty dragon, its scales gleaming like molten gold. It watches him with an intense gaze, but does not threaten. "Brave one," the dragon rumbles, its voice low and powerful. "What gives you the strength to stand before me?" Harry swallows hard, then answers, "It's not about not feeling fear, it's about moving forward despite it. Protecting the people you care about gives you that strength." The dragon exhales a plume of smoke, its eyes softening. "Courage, tempered with heart, you have proven yourself." The dragon bows its head, and a small, glowing scale detaches, floating toward Harry. As he catches it, the path before him clears, leading him out back to the chamber. Reunited, Harry and Hermione place the feather and the scale onto the pedestal by the glowing pool. The key above the pool begins to spin, its light growing brighter until it vanishes with a soft chime. In its place, a door appears, its surface inscribed with ancient runes. Hermione looks at Harry, her eyes alight with excitement. "We're getting closer," Harry grins, gripping his wand. "Then let's keep going." together, they step through the door, ready to face the next part of their journey. Harry and Hermione entered a grand circular chamber, their footsteps echoing softly against the smooth stone floor. The air felt charged, almost alive, as though the very room was breathing magic. Around them, ancient runes glowed faintly on the walls, shifting and swirling like streams of molten gold. At the center of the room stood an ornate pedestal, its polished surface cradling a leather-bound book that seemed to shimmer with its own quiet light. A soft hum filled the chamber, like the resonance of countless spells cast over centuries. "This must be it," Hermione whispered, her voice trembling with awe. "The source of the forgotten spells." Harry stepped closer, his eyes fixed on the book. It looked both inviting and intimidating, as though it held answers to questions they had not yet dared to ask. As they approached, the runes on the walls began to shift, forming words in an ancient language neither of them recognized. Hermione, ever prepared, pulled out her wand and murmured a translation spell. The runes glowed brighter, and the words rearranged themselves. "Only the worthy may unlock the secrets of this tome. Prove your understanding of magic's essence, or leave its power untouched." "Great," Harry muttered, his tone lessened with sarcasm. "Another test, because we haven't had enough of those already." Hermione shot him a look, but there was a glimmer of amusement in her eyes. "This isn't just any test, Harry. It's a test of what we truly believe about magic. We can't just guess our way through it." As the words faded, the air in the room began to shift, growing warmer. A figure began to materialize before them, a translucent, glowing apparition of Rowena Ravenclaw. Her expression was serene, her gaze piercing yet kind. "To claim the knowledge within," she said in a voice that was both commanding and gentle, "you must answer 3 questions. Each will test your heart, your mind, and your spirit." Harry exchanged a glance with Hermione, his brow furrowed. "Let's hope your love for books pays off." Hermione's lips twitched into a small smile. "Let's hope your bravery does too." The first question came almost immediately. Ravenclaw's voice filled the chamber. "What is the true purpose of magic?" Hermione stepped forward, her voice steady and confident. "To connect, to protect, and to inspire. Magic is a reflection of the soul, used to bring wonder and understanding to the world." The runes on the wall glowed brighter, as though acknowledging her answer. The hum in the air grew warmer, more approving. The second question was directed at Harry. "What defines a wizard's strength?" He hesitated for a moment, then spoke, his voice thoughtful. "It's not about how much power you have. It's about courage, compassion, and knowing when to use magic and when not to." The chamber responded with a soft, resonant hum, and Ravenclaw nodded her approval. The final question came with a sense of weight, as though the room itself held its breath. "What is the most important quality for a wizard to uphold?" Harry and Hermione didn't need to confer. They answered together, their voices clear and unwavering. "Integrity." The chamber seemed to glow with an inner light, the runes on the walls spinning faster until they dissolved into a cascade of golden sparks. Rowena Ravenclaw's apparition smiled, her expression one of quiet pride. You have proven yourselves worthy. The book on the pedestal began to glow, its cover lifting as though guided by invisible hands. The pages turned, revealing spells written in an elegant, flowing script. The magic emanating from the book was palpable, filling the room with a sense of peace and wonder. Hermione approached cautiously, her hand hovering over the book. This is extraordinary, she breathed. These spells haven't been seen in centuries. They're not about power, they're about healing, protection, connection. It's magic meant to bring people together. Harry stepped beside her, peering over her shoulder. Think there's a spell in there for not getting detention? Hermione rolled her eyes, but couldn't suppress a soft laugh. Somehow, I doubt it. As they studied the book, a faint voice echoed through the chamber. It was Ravenclaw's, though her form was no longer visible. These spells are a gift, but they must never be used selfishly. If they are, they will fade from existence, taking their magic with them. Hermione nodded solemnly. We understand. Harry placed his hand gently on the edge of the book. We'll make sure they're used for the right reasons. The book's glow intensified briefly, as if acknowledging their promise, before dimming to a soft, steady light. The room began to shift, the walls rippling like water. The pedestal slowly sank into the floor, and the air grew still. Before leaving, Hermione turned back to the now empty room, her expression contemplative. Harry, do you realize what we've done? We've rediscovered something incredible, something that could change everything. Harry looked at her, his face lit with a small, genuine smile. And we've done it together. That's what makes it even better. They walked back through the winding corridors of Hogwarts, the faint glow of dawn filtering through the windows. The castle seemed to with approval, as though it too understood the significance of what had just occurred. Though the forgotten spells now rested safely within their knowledge, Harry and Hermione knew their responsibility had only just begun. The corridors of Hogwarts stretched endlessly before Harry and Hermione, dimly lit by flickering torches casting shadows that danced on the stone walls. They had ventured deep into the castle, past areas rarely explored, drawn by whispers of an ancient chamber said to house secrets from a time long forgotten. Tonight, their curiosity had led them to the 7th floor, where rumors spoke of spells lost to history. Are you sure about this, Hermione? Harry whispered, his voice carrying an edge of nervousness as he glanced over his shoulder. The silence of the castle at night was almost tangible, broken only by the faint crackling of the torches. Hermione adjusted her scarf and gave him a determined look. Positive. If the room of hidden knowledge exists, it will be here. The enchantments on this part of the castle are older than any recorded magic. There's no telling what we might find. As they passed the tapestry of Barnabas the Barmy, Hermione stopped abruptly. Here, walk past 3 times and think about what you seek. Harry raised an eyebrow, but complied, his mind focused on spells forgotten by time. On his 3rd pass, a door appeared where there had been none moments before. Its wooden surface was engraved with intricate runes, pulsating faintly with a golden light. Hermione pushed the door open cautiously. The air inside was thick with the scent of parchment and ink, mingled with something else, magic, ancient and undisturbed. Shelves lined the circular room, filled with tomes bound in dragonhide and enchanted metals. Floating candles illuminated the space, their flames steady and warm, despite the subtle hum of powerful enchantments. In the center of the room, on a raised dais, rested an ornate golden stand. Upon it lay a singular book, bound in dark leather that shimmered as if alive. Harry and Hermione exchanged a glance, both awed and hesitant. "Is this it?" Harry asked, his voice low, almost reverent. "It must be," Hermione replied, stepping forward. "This book, it's older than Hogwarts itself." The air shifted as she reached out, her fingertips brushing the cover. The room seemed to hold its breath. Suddenly, the runes on the walls began to glow, and an echoing voice filled the chamber. It was deep and resonant, carrying the weight of centuries. "The spells within this tome are not for the faint of heart. Prove your worth or leave this place untouched." "Great, another magical test," Harry muttered, though his tone was laced with grudging respect. "What now?" Before Hermione could respond, the room transformed. Shelves melted away, replaced by a vast void filled with floating orbs of light. The golden stand disappeared, leaving the book suspended in midair. A figure materialized, tall, robed, and faceless, yet exuding a commanding presence. "To claim the knowledge," the figure intoned, "you must complete 3 tasks, each revealing the essence of your character." The first task was presented immediately. A shimmering archway appeared, through which Harry and Hermione saw a vivid scene, a young witch trapped beneath a fallen tree, calling for help. "Act selflessly," the figure instructed. Without hesitation, Harry stepped through the archway, finding himself amidst a snowy forest. Together, he and Hermione lifted the heavy branches, freeing the witch and guiding her to safety. The moment she was safe, the scene dissolved, and they were back in the room. "Well done," the figure said. "Compassion is the cornerstone of magic." The second task was subtler. They were shown a maze filled with paths that looped endlessly. "Seek the truth," the figure advised. As they wandered, Hermione noticed faint, glowing symbols on the floor. She realized they spelled out a riddle, and by solving it, they found the correct path forward. The maze faded, replaced once more by the chamber. "Wisdom guides the way," the figure said approvingly. The final task tested their courage. A swirling vortex appeared, showing Hogwarts engulfed in darkness. The figure's voice resonated. "Would you sacrifice your magic to protect this place?" Harry stepped forward, determination etched on his face. "Yes, always." Hermione joined him. "Magic's worth lies in what we do with it, not in its existence alone." The vortex vanished, and the room brightened. The book floated gently toward them, its pages shimmering. "You have proven yourselves," the figure said, fading into light. "These spells are entrusted to you. Use them wisely." Hermione opened the book, her fingers trembling slightly. The spells within were unlike anything she had ever seen. Spells to heal broken hearts, to mend fractured friendships, and to illuminate the darkest of times. "This is incredible," she whispered. "These aren't just spells, they're hope." Harry smiled softly, and they've been waiting for the right people to find them. The room began to shift, returning to its original form. The book now rested safely in Hermione's hands. Together, they left the room of hidden knowledge, the faint hum of its magic following them into the corridors of Hogwarts. As dawn broke, the castle seemed to glow a little brighter, as though aware of the rediscovered treasures now in its care. For Harry and Hermione, the journey was only beginning, but they carried with them the knowledge that some of the greatest magic lies not in power, but in the choices we make. As Harry and Hermione stepped out of the room of hidden knowledge, the dim corridors of Hogwarts greeted them with their usual quiet enchantment. The faint sound of portraits whispering to one another followed them, a peculiar hum of life that filled the ancient castle. The golden glow of sunrise filtered through the tall windows, casting elongated shadows along the stone floors. The warmth of the moment felt like a comforting embrace after their magical journey. "Do you think anyone else knows about the book?" Harry asked, glancing at Hermione, who clutched the tome tightly against her chest. She shook her head, her voice thoughtful. "I don't think so. The room only reveals itself when it's needed. We were meant to find this, Harry." Their footsteps echoed softly as they made their way toward the great hall where breakfast would soon be served. The castle was just beginning to stir, its students still tucked away in their dormitories. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of early winter. Outside, frost sparkled on the castle grounds, hinting at the coming snowfall. As they reached the staircases, a sudden movement caught their eye. A painting of a regal witch with a towering hat turned toward them. "Good morning," she said, her voice smooth and cultured. "Out for an early stroll, are we?" Harry exchanged a glance with Hermione. The portraits had always been watchful, but this felt different. The witch's eyes seemed to linger on the book in Hermione's arms, a flicker of curiosity crossing her face. "Just enjoying the quiet," Hermione replied with a polite smile, holding the book closer. The witch nodded knowingly, but said nothing further. As they continued their descent, Harry whispered, "Do you think she knows?" Hermione frowned slightly. "It's possible. The portraits are more aware than we give them credit for, but let's hope they respect the room's secrecy." The great hall was still empty when they arrived, its long tables awaiting the bustle of students. Hermione placed the book on the table, her fingers tracing its intricate cover. "We should study it," she said quietly, but carefully. Harry nodded, a sense of responsibility settling over him. "And keep it safe." As they flipped through the pages, a peculiar spell caught their attention. Its incantation shimmered, almost alive, and the description was vague, hinting at a way to understand the castle's very heart. Hermione's eyes lit up with curiosity. "This spell, it might let us communicate with Hogwarts itself." Harry leaned closer. "You mean, like the castle's magic?" Hermione nodded. "If Hogwarts has a consciousness, an awareness, this spell might help us connect with it." Their curiosity piqued. They decided to try it later that evening, in a secluded part of the castle. The rest of the day passed in a blur of classes and curious glances from friends. When night fell, they returned to the 7th floor, the book carefully tucked away in Hermione's bag. The incantation was unlike any they had spoken before, its rhythm almost melodic. As they finished, a soft glow enveloped them, and the air seemed to hum with energy. Suddenly, the walls around them shimmered, and a voice, deep, gentle, and ancient, filled the corridor. "You have called upon the heart of Hogwarts," it said. "Why?" Harry and Hermione exchanged a glance, awestruck. "We wanted to understand the magic of this place," Hermione replied, "to learn from it." The voice chuckled warmly. "Hogwarts has always been a home to those who seek knowledge, courage, and belonging. Its magic thrives on the love and hope of its students." The glow brightened, and visions filled the air, scenes from Hogwarts's history, from its founding to moments of great triumph and quiet resilience. The founders appeared briefly, their images soft but vivid, and the enchantments that bound the castle came alive, weaving a tapestry of light and memory. "This is incredible," Harry murmured, his heart swelling with a deep sense of connection to the place he called home. As the glow faded, the voice left them with a final message. "Protect what you have found, share its wisdom wisely, and remember, Hogwarts lives in the hearts of all who cherish it." The spell ended, leaving them in a tranquil silence. The castle felt different now, as though it had revealed a piece of itself to them. The book remained in Hermione's hands, its secrets waiting to be unraveled further. As they made their way back to the Gryffindor common room, a sense of fulfillment and quiet wonder filled the air. The castle's magic, ancient and enduring, had shared its essence with them. And in that moment, Harry and Hermione knew they were part of something much greater, a legacy of love, courage, and the unending pursuit of knowledge.